Williams. We're at Brooklyn in the eco-chic loft designed by Matt Gagnon, who hopefully you've had some time to chat with.
When you walked in here and were thinking about what kind of changes you could make, how much did the sustainability aesthetic factor into that initial vision?
It was initially driven by the clients. We had a nice meeting and they talked about what they wanted the space to feel like and how they lived their lives. The loft was originally a workshop, artists live workspace, what their weekends were like. They had an enormous closed off area with no windows in it that was presumably the workshop, and the client wanted it removed. And then at the very end of it, they were like, oh, and it needs to be redesigned with environmentally friendly materials. So that's kind of where that began. And then after kind of analyzing the situation, after all this dead-end research into what's the best material to use, there was nothing we could do to really offset the amount of waste we were going to produce by demolishing the existing space, 120 feet of linear surface of drywall. So we asked the client, will they let me design the space with the trash?
So the best material is like no new materials.
Yeah, so they were like, perfect, go for it, we trust you. I was like, you do? Like, that's like,
Me?
you don't get that a lot from clients. This line that runs along a good percentage of the loft represents the old wall. And the scar of the space. You know, demolition wasn't just smashing everything and throwing it away. It was like you have to unscrew everything, you have to save it, and you have to inventory it. And we designed some sculptural features, like basically a screen to protect the living space from the entry door. So when you come in the space, it's not immediately exposed. This is the closet sculptural wall. We consolidated as much of the storage as possible, clad those boxes with 4-inch strips of the sheetrock, which we stack like a slate or stone wall.
You designed this before you got into doing your eco-friendly furniture? Like your paper table and stuff, did that have any inspiration?
That happened at the same time as this. That project didn't start as recycled paper. I mean, I'd actually tried to design recycled paper, making the paper myself, but like it's an industrial process. And so I gave up on it. I had designed this stool made out of the New York Times, never dried, this massive paper, and it starts to smell and it's disgusting.
Listen, every experiment can't work.
Yeah. And then just finding the sheet material that already existed that was recycled paper. The contractor sliced it into 4-inch strips, and when you break it, it makes this nice rough edge, and then it's glued and screwed and stacked in this random way. Basically makes a stone element. In a certain way, it's a decorative element, it's a sculptural element, or it's a mini landfill within the apartment.
How much was prevented from ending up in a landfill?
I think 80% of the material was reused. What wasn't reused went on Craiglist, so it was reused, just not by us.
Just people involved. There were some cabinets here, and people involved with the job took them to their studios or their shop.
It goes down to like even some of the artwork is reused pieces of pallets that were used for packing material. Pieces of old Herman Miller furniture are actually in one of the sculptural elements, so it's like it's pretty broad. Like there's old silk screen frames that used to be used by a company in Oakland, California that did children's clothing. So I found the silk screen frames that make great art.
You see different colors in the sheetrock. You see big patches of it here. The green is typically a waterproof sheetrock. It's used in bathrooms, and I think the guy must have had something left over from the bathroom, and they used it in the main space.